Have you ever wondered what it took for us to get here? To go from wandering the African savanna to building skyscrapers and sending rovers to Mars? It's an epic story, one that begins millions of years ago with our earliest ancestors. Let's travel back in time and explore the incredible rise of early humans. Our journey starts around 6 to 7 million years ago in Africa. The climate was changing, forests were shrinking, and grasslands were expanding. This environmental shift forced some primates to adapt. Instead of climbing trees, they started walking on two legs. This is what we call bipedalism, and it was a game changer. Walking upright freed up their hands, allowing them to carry food, tools, and even their young. It also helped them see over tall grasses to spot predators or find resources. These early hominins, like Sahelanthropus and Ardipithecus, were the first pioneers on the long road to becoming human. Fast forward to about 3 million years ago, and we meet the famous Australopithecus afarensis, best known from the fossil Lucy. Lucy and her kind were skilled walkers. They still had some ape-like features, like long arms for climbing, but their footprints, preserved in volcanic ash in Laetoli, Tanzania, show a stride remarkably similar to ours. They were small, with brains not much larger than a chimpanzee's, but they were thriving, adapting to their changing world. Then, around 2.5 million years ago, something incredible happened. A new lineage emerged. The genus Homo habilis, or handyman, was one of the first. Why the name? Because they were the first of our ancestors to consistently make and use stone tools. These weren't fancy axes, but simple choppers and flakes, known as the Odawan tool industry. Think about how revolutionary this was. For the first time, our ancestors could butcher large animals for meat, crack open bones for nutritious marrow, and process tough plant materials. This access to new, high-energy foods was crucial. It fueled a bigger, more complex brain. This leads us to Homo erectus, who appeared around 2 million years ago. These guys were true trailblazers. They were taller, had larger brains, and looked much more like modern humans. Homo erectus was an incredible innovator. They developed more sophisticated tools, like the hand axe, a versatile, teardrop-shaped tool that remained in use for over 1 million years. But their biggest achievement? They were the first hominins to control fire. Fire provided warmth, protection from predators, a place to socialize, and most importantly, a way to cook food. Cooking made food easier to digest and unlocked more nutrients, which further fueled brain growth. With these new skills, Homo erectus became the first of our ancestors to venture out of Africa, spreading across Asia and Europe. For hundreds of thousands of years, different human species coexisted on the planet. In Europe and Western Asia, we had the Neanderthals. They were robust, highly intelligent, and adapted to cold climates. They were skilled hunters, created complex tools, cared for their sick and elderly, and even buried their dead with symbolic objects. They weren't the brutish cavemen of popular myth. They were a successful and sophisticated species. Meanwhile, back in Africa, our own species, Homo sapiens, was evolving. Around 300,000 years ago, the first anatomically modern humans appeared. Our brains were large and organized differently, giving us a unique edge. We developed complex language, symbolic thought, art, and incredible new technologies. We created intricate tools from bone and stone, spear throwers for hunting, and eventually the bow and arrow. Then, around 60,000 years ago, a small group of Homo sapiens began their own great migration out of Africa. As they spread across the globe, they encountered other human species like the Neanderthals. For a time, they lived side by side, and we know from genetic evidence that they interbred. But ultimately, only one species would remain. Why did we survive while others vanished? The reasons are still debated. Maybe it was our advanced social networks, our greater adaptability, or our capacity for symbolic culture that gave us the upper hand. From humble beginnings on the African plains to becoming the last human species standing, our journey has been one of innovation, adaptation, and resilience. It's a story written in stone tools, ancient bones, and our very own DNA. The next time you look in the mirror, remember the millions of years and countless ancestors who made you possible. Thanks for joining me on this incredible journey through time. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into our amazing past. See you next time.